Hello and welcome back to Tits, Tums and All Things Mum, and a very special episode today because we have our first dad on the podcast. So I should say Tits, Tums and All Things Dad, really.
Yes.
How are you, Tom?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
Thank you so much for coming on and being
Thanks
our
for having
first
me.
dad. How exciting.
I'm really excited. I love it. I don't necessarily, maybe I do have the tits, but I've definitely got the tum. I've got the tum.
That's all right then.
So,
you are more than welcome.
Yes.
Could you start by telling us a bit about yourself?
Of course, I'm Tom. On Instagram, you'll find me Unlikely Dad. Mm-hmm. And I am 40 this year.
Never.
So I'm just like in the zone of figuring out who the hell I am as I like navigate this next part. And I create content on Instagram. I share the daily life of me and my son Kai, and it's like changed our life in a way.
Oh,
it's amazing.
I love it. And you're a full-time influencer.
Yeah, I was telling you before, I sort of left the corporate world a couple years ago now. Terrifying, big risk. Yeah. But just like, without sounding too cheesy, so grateful that I get that opportunity because I'm a creative and I love doing this sort of thing and getting to share. And I think that is what is really good in terms of like being a gay dad. I can share that what it looks like, because in actual fact it's exactly the same as it is for a straight dad or a straight mum, whatever. We're all just winging it.
We're all just parents.
Yes.
And we're all just
trying to get
sleep
by.
deprived.
Yes, I'm very sleep deprived today.
Yeah. So do you mind kind of talking us through your journey into parenthood and what that looked like for you?
Sure. Yeah. It was coming up to, it was about 9 years ago. We adopted, me and my husband, and I was 30, and we felt like it was time. And kids had been off the cards, if I'm being honest. Like, we were just loving life. And I think it got to a point where we were like, how many more brunches can we have? How many more city breaks? Like, we were really fortunate that we did all this stuff as a couple and with our friends. And then I think, you know how, like, I don't know if it was the same for you, but like how with women they say like their body clock just pings, or it was a moment, and I just felt like, oh, I want to have a kid. Like, I want to be a parent and I want to have a family. And so we just didn't even really think about anything other than adoption. It was just the option for us. And we started the process in July 2014, and it was a 9-month journey for us, just like our own pregnancy, I swear. And he came home at 14 months old in April 2015.
Oh, amazing.
So, yeah, it was a hard journey, invasive at times. You know, you meet with social workers, you meet with the child social worker. When you're going through matching, which is where you are searching for your child, the want for a better phrase, that's really hard because you're seeing profiles of children that you just would never see if you weren't going on this journey. It's a really hard thing to do and go through, but you go through all the assessment, all the training to really like get you up to speed and to build that strength in you. And I loved the journey.
Did you?
Loved it. Like, those social worker sessions felt like therapy. So I was like, this is free therapy. It's amazing. And it just all flowed so naturally for us. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Do you know, you surprised me that you said it only took 9 months, because I feel like I follow quite a lot of gay dads who are in the process of adopting, and I feel like I've been following their adoption journey for ages and it's not happened yet.
No, we were fortunate. Don't know how it happened. Like, I just feel all the stars aligned, and we went with an agency, and we were actually one of the first families for them. So I think there was just this sense of not urgency, but just like everyone working towards the same goal of helping us find our child. And 9 months, very quick. You know, really, my podcast co-host recently adopted now over a year ago, and it did take them a couple years.
Really?
So, you know, it's a journey for everyone, and everyone's is different. But ours was like, we were just ready though. I felt like the universe almost knew it, and it was like, okay, bam, 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 here's all the steps, you know, and it just happened. We saw his we did, and we saw his profile, and he was the first profile we saw, and majorly cheesy, but I knew it. Knew it. No one else was having him. And in adoption, you know, you're competing. It is almost like dating sites. It's mad. And I was thinking, oh, of course he's going to go to like a straight couple because, you know, but no, we were the chosen ones, and it was like the best thing.
This podcast is proudly sponsored by Cover My Bubble. Emma and Chris lost their baby girl Lily Beth at 1 month old and faced financial struggles on top of their grief due to not having life insurance. Now they help others by offering insurance for parents, children and bumps, covering critical illness to income protection. Visit covermybubble.co.uk to cover your bubble. How does that even work? Because I'm quite naive. I don't know how the adoption process works. Do you choose a child?
Basically, yeah. You will sort of say with your social worker and with the agency or the local authority, however you go through it, what you are, and this is not meant to sound as harsh as it does, but what you're willing to take on, right? Okay. Because an adopted child is not necessarily going to be this brand new baby that has been delivered from a warm, loving, nurturing environment. It's not. And you are going to have challenges, and children are removed from birth parents for a reason. It's a really, really tough subject. And so you have to deal with it all really sensitively and sort of accept what you can or think about what you can. And it comes down to things like, would you accept a disabled child, a blind child, a deaf child, all these things. Do you want a boy? Do you want a girl? Comes down to, skin colour as well. So you go through all that, and we were quite open. And that's what I mean. You then receive profiles of children that you just want to adopt 10 of them. Because you're please, thank God there are adopters and foster carers doing this, because these kids need these families. And we just saw Kai's profile, and he low-key looked like my husband as a baby.
Oh, really?
So I was like, this is the one. And he was just gorgeous, and we found out a bit of information about him, and just knew it was it. So hard to explain. And during all the training, you meet with adopters as well. They come in and talk to you about their journey. And a lot of them were like, you just know when you know. And I was like, really? Come on, but you do. You just do.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what was it like when you first brought him home?
Well, you go through something called introductions. So that is a week, maybe 10 days, sometimes longer, depending on the child's needs, where you will visit. You don't see the child until you're all agreed and approved. This is the other mad thing. So you love them, but you've never even met them. Madness. You get videos, pictures, all that sort of thing. And we visited the foster carers home on that day one, and me and my husband were in the car, and we looked at each other and we were like, it's never going to be us, just us again. This is it. We're about to meet our son. And we knocked on her door, and the minute she opened the door, we could smell baby. And it was oh my God, he's in this room. And we walked through, couldn't see him, and she was like, oh, he's in the kitchen, go say hi. And poked his head around the corner, and in that moment, just oh my God, we just both bawled our eyes out. He came crawling up. He wasn't walking. He was 14 months and he wasn't walking. Came crawling up to us with a smile, because she had obviously plastered pictures around the house of us, given him teddies that smelt of us and t-shirts and things like that. He didn't know us, but I swear he just knew. And each day in introductions you do a little bit more. So we just popped in. Second day, might spend the morning, put him down for a nap. Third day, take him out in the pushchair for a walk to the park, do lunch, maybe stay for dinner. You do a bit more each day. Day 4, 5 or 6, they might bring him back to your house for an hour, then 2 hours the next day. Just the wildest ride that week was. And then I think it must have been day 7 or 8, we drove home for the last time. And I don't know how we all survived, because I was bawling the entire motorway journey home. I was like, how did I get us home safely?
Oh, bless you.
But oh my God, it was so long ago now. It feels mad.
That sounds amazing,
It
though.
was.
What an amazing moment. And it must be hard being a foster carer as well, getting that attachment and then having to say goodbye. That must be really hard. My mother-in-law is a foster carer, but she's had the child. He's now 16 and she's had him from a young age. So,
wow. But
not all foster carers have that.
No.
They get adopted.
Yeah, sometimes it's long term, and then, but I think some foster, I don't know the terminology, but some are literally, for the short term to get the child into an adopted family. Kai's foster carer was a dream. She had him from birth. So
really?
she was mum.
That's really hard.
So she's, and he obviously up in the night, colic, all these things she dealt with. The bond they had was incredible, and you go through a lot of, the training again to understand attachment and how we bond and how we securely remove him from that bond, and it's insane. But foster carers are incredible, and Kai was her first. And she's never done it since. She was like, I just love that boy, and I just don't think she could do it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we still speak to her all the time.
I was going to say, do you still see her?
She came to his 4th birthday party. We gave it a few years, but we send pictures and videos all the bloody time. And we actually haven't seen her for years, but we talk all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we're a busy family. She's got her own boy, and but yeah, I can't wait to see her again soon.
Yeah. Oh, bless you.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So this might be a bit of a sensitive question, but does Kai know that he's adopted?
Yeah.
He does.
Oh, for sure.
What are his thoughts on it?
He hasn't really got any. He's just like a wild 10-year-old.
The best dads ever.
Oh no, we're the worst dads this morning. The worst.
Aren't we all at
removed
some point,
his phone. Like the attitude is just
Yeah.
And I think it must be like end of year, end of school.
End of yearitis is a thing.
It's a real thing, and he's just hormonal, and he's like just a 10-year-old who wants to play Roblox. Roblox.
Yeah.
God, get it right.
My 5-year-old has even been asking about that, and I'm like, no, absolutely.
We're on Roblox, and he's literally asking for Robux every minute
to buy,
and I'm like, it's money that I will never see something like in a return.
Yeah.
So he does know he's adopted. You get what you call a life storybook.
Okay.
It's great.
Yeah.
We definitely need to update ours. Like, it's written by the local authority, bless them, and it's done in a very good way.
Yeah.
But we just need to make it our own, because that will be a book. It's got pictures of birth parents in. It's got pictures of the day that we met him.
Yeah.
It's got the words talking sensitively about why and what happened.
Yeah.
But he knows, and he's very much a kid, I think, who is not like in the moment. He's just always away with the fairies. So like, he's like, you want to talk to him. I'm a talker, as you can probably tell. So I'm like trying to pull things out of him. Like, how was your day? How do you feel? Yep, good. I'm like, no, like Daddy talks, Kai.
I feel like that's kids.
I want to talk. Yeah. So he knows he's adopted. He understands the birth parent side, and he, knows that Auntie Lala, we call her the foster carer, Laura. Auntie Lala looked after you that first year of your life, and then your daddy's found you.
Yeah.
And he's 10 now. So I think in the next few years, it's going to just get a bit more real in terms of the why and how it came about. And he's learning now that having two dads is not the norm either. I can see that, and I can hear that in the way he sometimes speaks to his friends or what's going on. So we've got a lot of things to like that are coming up, but we are just like a really open family. And I think if we were to ever lock it off or to never talk about it, it's just going to be like some crazy EastEnders episode where it all comes out and everyone's gone nuts.
But that's when it becomes a thing, isn't it? Like when you don't talk about it.
Oh, and I heard him and his mate in McDonald's. I take them for a McDonald's every Friday after school.
Yeah.
And his mate was like, why have you got two dads? And I was like, I'm listening to this. Like, I'm going to hear what he says.
Yeah.
He was just like, I just have. I was like, cool. That's all you need to do. Just, I have. Like, and his mate was like, cool.
I feel like it's a bit more accepted now.
Definitely.
I think there are very different families out there.
Yeah.
Like all sorts of blended families, 2 mums, 2 dads.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are speaking to their children more about it now.
I hope so. There are definitely parents that will sort of say as well, I've experienced that that's not the norm, or, and the kid will then say that.
Yeah.
So it works both ways. Very much more open, but you will still have people that aren't pro it, and it's a bit sad, but
you get that with anything, won't you?
You do.
It's really difficult. Like, we're really open with our kids because I've got a gay brother-in-law. So like, we've always had like that in our lives, and we can always say like, men can love men, women can love women. Like,
and I think like, we can go on a bit of a, like, the internet will just be like, oh my god, the agenda, what are you doing to our kids, and I'm like, I'm doing nothing to Kai. Like, I've just said to him, like, what was he had a school disco, and I was like, brush your teeth, hurry up. And I was about to say, no girl is going to want to kiss you. And I was like, oh my god, am I like sexualizing him too young, or like, but then I was like, I thought, why did I say girl? And then we talk about it all the time, and that was my upbringing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm doing things like that, and I'm like, no. And I said, do you like have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? He was like, no. I said, what would you have? And he was like, I think I'll have a girlfriend. I was like, interesting. I didn't know I was going to raise a straight son, but there we go. Jeez.
You're going to be going into a whole new like realm of like dad chats.
I don't mind that lifestyle, just don't flaunt it in my face. I'm joking.
But you're going to have to like talk about things that you've never had to like even think about
We
before.
talk about like, I'm sure all parents do, like consent and stuff now. Because like he'll always like, you know what it's like with kids. Like they get in the shower with you. And we talk about bodies and what you can and can't do. And I really hammer that home. Might just be in and out one ear, but we're going to keep going.
I don't think it is. I think kids are very like receptive, and they're listening even when you don't think they are.
True, because he has thrown something I say back at me, which is like, I just want my personal space.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh,
wow.
Okay. Well,
snap.
Boundaries. Like he's got his boundaries. Yeah, good for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it when I'm trying to teach Bella about like bodies and stuff like that and how they're all very different.
Yeah.
And she was like bopping my belly the other day. She was like, Mummy, your belly is so beautiful. Even though it's wobbly. And I was like,
that's amazing. That's what you want.
You want that to be like...
There's a really good book. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll have to tell you about it. And it's just basically got every type of body, and then talking about the bodies and women with hairy legs or arms, or someone with an amputee, or a breast removed, all these things. And Kai was pretty into the book but it goes in.
It does.
And they're thinking, well, bodies can look like that.
Yeah. I was shaving my legs the other day, and she was asking me like, why are you shaving your legs? And I had to really think about my answer, because I was like, I don't want her to think that she has to shave her legs for people.
Let's just say it's mummy's preference.
Yeah, I just choose to shave my legs. Some people don't want to shave their legs, and some people... I follow Megan Jane Crabb on Instagram, who grows and dyes her armpit hair like rainbow colours. And I showed her, and she was like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah. So it's just about like showing them.
And to a kid, that is so cool.
That is so cool.
I mean, it's cool to me.
I think she's a bit jealous that she doesn't have armpit hair that she can dye rainbow
Kai
colours.
started getting like hairy legs, right?
Oh, really?
And he is like, I was like, oh my God. And he was like, am I going to get hairy legs like you? And then he talks about hair in other places. And I'm like, oh my God.
You've got all that like soon.
Yeah. Well, so he's 10.
Yeah.
But he, with his special needs, he does like present a bit lower.
Yeah.
But like physically, he's a 10-year-old and it's only going to like get more so.
Yeah.
But I'm like majorly open.
Yeah.
Like just like ask me what you want. Because I remember like being a kid and like maybe getting a bit of like facial hair and your family would like rip the piss out of you, and you would then go into a corner thinking, oh my God, I'm ugly or whatever. And then you're really conscious to shave it off because people will notice you've shaved it off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you want to shave it? Let's do it together.
Yeah.
Or you want to dye your hair? Let me take you to the salon. We'll get it done properly. Like all these things.
Yeah.
I think it's just very different now.
Everything was so taboo back then, wasn't it? Like I remember going through all of that, like the first of everything, and my mum just being like, oh, like we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
It's
and
mad,
I'm just
isn't it?
so like different with my kids now.
And I wonder why we are the cycle breakers in that sense. Like what's made us?
I don't know.
Is it just the world we're in today?
The generations, like just how society is now. Things are just changing.
Yeah.
I think social media's got a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah.
Because we're definitely opening up a lot more on social media about everything from mental health to like sexual preferences. Everything is just out there a bit more now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love that.
We're learning more. I think, you know, God, love my parents. They did the best with what they had and what they knew and the way they were parented.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, definitely. And although it is a lot more open now, have you faced any sort of stigmas? Have you faced any criticism as gay dads?
No, not in the real world at all. And I think that comes, and we're in like a little village. Yeah. So you may expect it, but none. And I think it comes down to us just like being very proud, not hiding. We don't, you know, we're not like some out and proud rainbow waving kind of family, but we're just living our life. And you will find that that's like 95% of the LGBT spectrum is like we just want to live our life. Like all these people that are obsessing about what trans people are up to, just let them do their thing. And that is all we want to do, just live. And we do. And I think people see that, and I think no one bats an eyelid. Then they see a really like healthy, happy boy. You know? So no, in the real world, no. Online, not so much either. I think I've just really created just a wonderful community. And it's all organic people that are following me, that want to follow me, I believe. So you're choosing to follow a gay dad, you know, but then we were having a conversation before we came on about going viral, and Kai was in, he wanted to wear a dress for World Book Day, Frozen, just obsessed with wanting to wear a Frozen dress, never seen the film. He just wanted to wear a dress and put makeup on. I was like, of course. But I had to really talk to myself, because I found myself almost talking him out of it. I was like, oh my God, old habits die hard, right? So only because I knew what I was subjected to. And I was like, no, this is different. I have an open communication with the teacher. I'm going to tell her that you want to do this, to be listen out to other children. He ran in there so freaking brave. And I put that video out. And I did debate it, because I don't really want to put him out to the world. And it went crazy viral, and it somehow hit like the wrong side of like the Bible Belt of America.
I feel like when things go viral, they do, and you
it just went mad. And people were like, where's the mum? Or like, you're ruining this kid. And I'm like, okay, well, he's really happy.
You'll get like fat, bald Kevin who's like sat behind his computer.
And he's got like an eagle in his profile picture in the background, or a gun.
Like a moustache.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Don't even look at this video. It's not for you.
I know. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But I feel like when you're in the online space and you do go viral, that's when you get, like, no matter what you are, whether you're a straight family, you'll get shit. Like, I remember posting a video of Bella literally talking about her love of cheese, because she bloody loves cheese, and she was tidying her books up, and I got someone slating me for, oh my goodness, why have you bought that girl such commercial books, because they were Peppa Pig books. My God. I was like, for crying out loud, like, no matter what you do online, you're never going to keep everyone happy. I saw a TikTok, like, literally someone said something about when your toddler's in bed but you're celebrating England winning the game, and the male partner was like, yes, but I had to do it quietly, and like, 'cause the toddler was asleep. And I'm like, what a lovely, just wholesome video. And the comment I saw was, what an odd place to put the clock on the wall. And I was like, really? We're talking like, what? Why do you even need to type that? Exactly. I was like, that is so bizarre. But it's just like, it just reflects honestly
on them
the video that I've got going viral at the moment. There's people kicking off in the comment section. I'm ignoring it, but I'm having fun with my popcorn, just watching them kicking off. I'm like, keep going with the engagement.
Keep giving me more views. That's great.
They're just having a full-blown argument in the comment section.
They tend to just argue with themselves.
I know. And I'm just watching it, and I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous what you're arguing over.
Wow.
It's an insane space, isn't it?
It's mad. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with like the whole, well, if you put yourself out there, you got to get it. No, like, why are people mean to other people?
I don't know.
And it's not because I'm in this space, because I haven't always been in this space. I wouldn't dream of going online or writing into a newspaper or magazine or emailing someone the things people say.
I know.
But it is just a reflection of how they feel. They are just mirroring how they are internally and projecting that hate, and that's all on them.
Trying to make themselves feel better. And how do you deal with those comments? Do you reply or do you just block?
No, I think
literally
sometimes it's always a block. I love a little blocky like
my block list is literally like so long right now.
It's just so wonderful.
Like, bye,
taking away taking away that person's right, that right they think they have on you. It's like, you don't need to see me. Block. It's all good.
And if you were to face like negativity in the real world, how do you think you'd deal with that? Especially with Kai, like what would you say to him?
I feel quite strong, actually. I think becoming a dad made me feel stronger. This is not like being gay parent related, but I remember one time on a beach, Kai was a toddler, or maybe 4 or 5, and he, was running back and forth from us to the sea, and some lady did get mad that he was like kicking sand up by her, and that's totally valid. But you're on a beach. There's going to be sand. And she actually got rude with him.
Oh, really?
And then saw that I was a dad and got rude with me. And I just was like, whoa, hold up. Like, and I just really stood my ground. And I was like, so that was not like hate, gay parenting related. But I feel like I've just got a voice that I'm happy to use. Like, I'm not so scared to just say, chill the fuck out. It's a beach. You're going to get, if you don't like being around kids, go the other end. There's a lot of kids.
Or maybe
here.
Don't go to a beach.
Maybe don't go to a beach if you don't want sand on your towel.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're the kind of person that feels able to stand up to people. My brother-in-law he won't go to like pubs or things like that with his boyfriend, because he just feels like, I think the area that we live in as well, I think that has a big
I find if you're confident and filling up those spaces, I think that's just something I do. I'm very much around, do we call them straight spaces? I don't know. I don't just close myself off to like the gay spaces or the gay lifestyle. The majority of my friends are straight. And that's just me. Like, I would never not go to a bar. If it was like, felt like a bit like of a rough, unsafe place, I wouldn't go, not because I'm gay, just because it's rough.
But then I wouldn't go just because it's like a rough place.
Exactly. But I think if you put yourself there proudly, what people can't say anything. Yeah, definitely. I'm so glad the world's kind of heading in that direction where people are a bit more accepted for whatever they're like. And I think if you look at the news though, we do like politically seem to be going backwards.
But the news is fucking ridiculous anyway.
It's insane. And I think if you actually ask the majority of the public, they probably don't give a shit.
No.
Like, I think it's just mainstream media that is pushing some crazy agenda on this.
And the minority tend to be the ones that you focus on as well. Like, I don't know about you, but if I've got a video on Instagram that's going viral, I'll have like hundreds of thousands of positive comments, but I will focus on those few negative. So I think that's the general way of the world as well, is that we tend to give those negative people a lot of space.
Do you know what though? I don't know if I do. And I think it's because...
I need to take a leaf out of your book.
Honestly, though, I think it's because I was just bullied as a kid for being who I was, right?
Yeah.
And being a gay man, a gay boy, or a gay girl, or however you identify as a kid, just feeling not the norm.
Yeah.
Gay men, I can only speak of my experience, so gay men almost have like a delayed youth because we just were not able to be ourselves.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's why you see a lot of like being married as a gay person and children is rare because they're still dating or they're just playing the field or having fun or doing whatever, because we had to hide away and we had to like go somewhere and do something that we wanted to do, whereas we are sort of battling that. And I think because I was picked on in the late years of secondary and had to figure out who I was, that has probably made me not give a shit now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've done that.
Yeah.
I was bullied. I'm not being bullied now. I'm 39. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, and I now have the tools and the mental maturity to move on, block, respond. Yeah. But rarely respond. Like, fuck that.
Who's got time for
Who
that?
has got the time for that?
Were you openly gay in secondary school? You weren't?
No. So, and it was like when they're all becoming young men. So it was like those last 2 years.
Yeah.
When voices change, bodies change.
And they're all like lads.
And I went to a boys' school, so it's even worse. So I couldn't even like form a group of girlfriends. It was so hard. Yeah. And it was really hard. And people just knew I was gay. It was obvious, and it was just hard. Yeah. And it wasn't nice. I remember GCSEs, I failed most of them, and I was like, get me the fuck out of that school. Yeah. And I remember going to pick up my grades and knowing I'm never going back. Yeah. It was the best feeling. Yeah.
Secondary school's a fucking horrible place, and I dread sending my kids to secondary school.
2 more years of primary and I'm just enjoying that bubble.
Yeah.
Because fortunately Kai's needs mean that he may get like a nice resource unit in a secondary.
Yeah.
I want him to go to like a mainstream and have a good experience, but I don't want him to be like in the mainstream, because it's a really scary space, especially with phones. And
I know
I sound so old, but we didn't have that.
I know, but
I was just beaten up behind the bike sheds. It wasn't filmed.
I know. I was bullied at school as well, though, and we didn't even have phones then. No. So like, I'm dreading it. I'm terrified.
Well, my nieces and nephews are 13, 16 and 20. Yeah. And they've grown up with it. It's all part of their school. Yeah. And it's just how it is. Yeah. It is just how it is on Snapchat, and they're all chatting and communicating and talking about so-and-so down the park, and I'm just like, whew, oh my God. It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot.
I guess the only thing we can do is be open with our children, encourage them to be authentically themselves and not hide it, and just, I
think fortunately Kai is ballsy and bossy. Yeah. Really hard to parent. Yeah. But I think it's going to be a good thing for him.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, he is a bit too bossy with his mates. I'm like, you need to be a bit nicer if you want to make good friends.
See, my daughter's really sensitive. Okay. And all
I'm not sure she'd get on with Kai.
All that's got to happen is like someone like looks at her the wrong way, and she's like, she'll think about it for days. Okay. And I need to, because I was like that as a kid as well. And it's only in like my 20s that I've kind of turned into this person that doesn't give a shit.
Yes.
But I need to instill that in her as well at 5, which is hard.
I do. Yeah, 5 is hard. Yeah. I mean, I feel like even Kai at 10 is hard, because I'm just like, listen, he's had a thing at school with a couple of boys, and I know what they're doing, and they are picking on him really for being a bit different. I can tell, and he isn't able to see it because he's not at their level. He's obviously presenting a few years behind. Yeah, that breaks my heart. Yeah, and I can't believe it. And I'm like, listen, I spoke to the teachers.
Do you ever just want to go and drop kick him? Yeah, because I definitely do.
Oh my God. And the thing is, I know the parents, so it's a bit harder. And I just think they're making him do things. Yeah, and I'm like, because he's vulnerable in a sense, and I'm like, ooh, so I've talked to him and said, no, you don't do. When people ask you to do things, you tell them no, or you just say, I'm going to go speak to a teacher, or don't try and follow that crowd, and don't try and, because I said, are they laughing with you? And so, it's a minefield. But I do think as he gets older, he might be able to tell people to just fuck off, I hope. Because I
suppose if you've got those extra needs, like I'm investigating my daughter for autism and ADHD, and she maybe wouldn't be able to tell if people were laughing with her or at her, because that social awareness is not there.
It's not there.
So she just does it, and then and
that's what's happened. You know, Kai was asked to do things. These boys were like, go tell so and so to do that, or go and ask her. And it's like he thinks they're laughing. Yeah. He thinks they're all having a laugh. Yeah. And I'm like, they're making you do things that they know you shouldn't do because they know better. Yeah. So it's just a
kids are little
minefield. Yes.
The kids. Honestly.
I sometimes think like, God, no wonder my parents just never hung out with me. Like, sod this.
Oh, bless you. Right, shall we spin the wheel?
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
To spin the wheel. Give it a good spin.
Let's go.
I'll have a look what you get. Ooh. Would you rather never drink alcohol or coffee again?
Easy. Never drink alcohol again.
Yeah?
Yes, I have to have a coffee the minute I wake up.
Yeah.
Do you hydrate or caffeinate?
I don't drink coffee because ADHD and coffee.
Okay.
Not good.
Not a good mix.
But tea, I don't think I'd be able to live without a tea.
No, so I have to have my coffee in the morning and then I will drop Kai off, I go to the gym and I come home and have a smoothie and my second coffee. Yeah. I have to. If I haven't had that second coffee, like, I'm not right.
Don't talk to me.
It's not even that, I just don't feel right. Yeah. So alcohol I'm almost teetotal anyway. Yeah. So I could let go of that easy.
See, I do love a bit of a binge drink. I'm not going to lie. I do love it.
I had 2 glasses of Prosecco last night and it ruined me. Like I'm the biggest lightweight. Yeah. It makes me feel all like, no, I'm just... I don't know. Yeah, no, I agree with you though. These people that get up in the morning and have a glass of water, I'm like, I might have a sip.
What is this life? No,
my husband does like full on lemons in hot water and all on this cinnamon stuff, and I'm like,
he sounds very healthy.
Give me my Nespresso.
Yeah,
like, oh my God,
I need my tea.
Yes.
No one talk to me until I've had my cup of tea in the morning.
It's facts. Like I literally take it back to bed. Yeah. Kai's old enough now. Yeah. Like he's like in his room doing whatever. I'm like, coffee in bed. Do not talk to me.
I tried to do intermittent fasting, but on that you can't even have tea. Yeah. Because I only have sweetener in my tea, but you can't even have sweetener. So like I was like, I can't do intermittent fasting because I can't live without my tea.
You can't do that.
I just can't.
That's too much.
But yeah, I do actually love a bit of a binge drink and a dance. I don't need alcohol to dance though.
No, I do. If I'm like going to get on the dance floor, I need to have a drink. Yeah. I went to see Troye Sivan. I don't know if you're aware of him. He's a singer. No. And he was playing at Wembley a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Me and my mate went, and it's like very much a artist for the gays and very much a gay audience. Yeah. And we had so many doubles before and during. Yeah. And I was like, this is not like me. Yeah. I did not feel wasted and I did not have a hangover. But I'm not kidding. I think we had 4 doubles. Oh my God. And that's a lot for me. Yeah. So I reckon it's like the vibe, it's where you're at. Yeah, concert. Yeah, like, you know, if I was like last night, I was just chilling, having a couple of glasses, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If I'm out with my mates, I don't really need to drink to like dance and have a good time. But like, as I said to you before, next Thursday, I've got a red carpet event in London with people that I don't know. A drink will help. I will need to drink to get rid of that social anxiety. Yes. So I'm going to drink by myself in the hotel room. Oh my God, do it.
On the Prosecco.
And we're going to have a night out.
Oh yeah,
because we've established that we're like practically neighbours, really.
I know. How have we got this far without even realising we're down the road? We're going to do it. We're going to have to go for brunch and then go out dancing after. Yes. It'll be great.
Good idea.
Head into Pop World.
I've never been.
What?
I know.
You've never been to Pop World?
Never been.
Okay, I'm taking you
It's because it like opens at like 11. I need to be home.
Yeah, to be fair. Like, do you remember the days when you used to go out?
And you were queuing at 1 to get into the club? Yeah,
and you'd pre-drink at home until like 11 p.m.
Never.
I'm like, I'm in bed by 11 p.m.
Literally.
Well, 9
I need to be in bed by 10 on a normal night, like bed by 10, chilling.
Maybe that's why people like us brunch now, because we drink.
Day drinking is where it's at. Yeah. And if I'm going to have a drink, that's what I would do.
There's that place in London, isn't there? What's it? I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a ping pong table.
Oh, they have something like that in Reading, I think.
Do they?
Or like a golfing thing.
Yeah. Oh, like junkyard golf.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't remember.
Maybe we should do that because then it's done and dusted.
I love that.
9 p.m. we can be in bed.
Yeah. Great. Tea and toast.
Oh yeah. Oof. Sounds amazing.
It's the best.
How old are we?
Well, I'm a lot older. And I will be. How old are you?
32.
Yeah, no,
You're
I'm
only
not
as
older.
old as you feel.
This is very true.
And it also depends how much Botox you have shoved in your face.
Never done it, I know.
In my face. I do. Can you not tell? I can't move my head at the moment.
Jealous.
Well, I can move here. It needs to set a little bit more, but I can't frown at all. So,
that is incredible.
It's the dream.
Yeah.
Love it.
Never done it.
Anyway, we're going off on a tangent now. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh,
Do you want to finish by telling everyone where we can find you online?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at unlikelydad, and my blog is theunlikelydad.com.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being the first dad on the podcast.
I feel honoured. Thanks so much.
Amazing. Hopefully the start of many dads to come on the podcast.
Fingers crossed.
I'm going to have to change the name, aren't I?
I think you might.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much to everyone for listening and watching at home. Please do give us a download, subscribe, thumbs up, all the things, and we'll see you next week.